Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Iron Sharpens Iron. I'm Matt, and today I want to talk about something that was instilled in me a long time ago, and that's living life with a servant's heart or a servant's heart mentality. I've heard it phrased as well as living a 23:11 style life, and that comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 11. And just to get into it, the basic idea is that whatever you do in life, doesn't matter if it's sales or hospitality or providing some sort of service to somebody or manufacturing a product, whatever it is you do in life, always do it from the perspective of doing it for people or doing it for someone. You're never doing something to someone. And that's especially true in sales. In sales, you want to serve people powerfully. In coaching, you want to serve people powerfully. And whatever it is that you choose to do with your time and your effort, your energy and your money, you want to do it from a perspective of serving other people. And that's really the key to unlocking success. So what do I mean by the 23:11 life? Well, Matthew chapter 23, verse 11 basically says that it's Jesus talking to his disciples, and he says, "The greatest among you will be your servant." And a lot of people take this to mean that Jesus or God in a vengeful sort of way is going to take somebody in a high status position and lower them to a servant type of position. He's going to knock them down and teach them a lesson, so to speak, in a vengeful or retribution type of way. But that's not what Jesus is talking about. What Jesus is talking about says basically in society as a whole right now, the people who are the most important are the ones who are serving other people. Think about that for a moment. Jesus also said, a little bit earlier, it was Matthew chapter 20. I think it was, the chapter 20. But Jesus is basically talking to his disciples, and he says that, his disciples are arguing, and there's a really good visual representation of this in The Chosen, where all the disciples are arguing and they're trying to come up with some sort of status or hierarchy and who's going to be in charge when Jesus is gone. And Jesus basically says that, whoever wants to become great must become, the least. It must become your servant. And whoever wants to be first must become last. And he's basically saying that you lead from the rear. You lead from, a position of lifting other people up, you don't lead from a position of being at the top and bossing people around. You lead from a position of lifting other people up or pushing and helping other people up, which means if you picture two kids trying to climb a tree or a fence or something, and somebody says, "Hey, let me give you a boost," the person that's lifting the other person up is always lower than the person who's being lifted up. And that's the mentality that Jesus had. And that's basically what he's saying, is that if you want to be great, then you've got to be a servant of others. And Jim Rohn really encapsulates this idea, and he says it very well. Jim Rohn basically says that you can have anything you want in life. You can have anything you want in life as long as you help enough other people get what they want. Now think about that for a minute. You can have whatever you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. And that's, for him, it was a sales mentality type of thing, the idea of serving other people through sales. And sales isn't, a lot of people look at sales as a perspective of, you're shoving something down somebody's throat, you're trying to convince them to buy. It's an adversarial type of thing. And sales isn't that at all. One thing I learned in 15 years of law enforcement experience is that everything in life is sales. Your relationship with your spouse is sales. Your relationship with your kids is sales. See, in sales, a lot of times we think that sales is convincing somebody to do something. But convincing somebody to do something basically means you are tricking them or forcing them to do something they do not want to do or something that's not in their best interest. Sales is helping somebody understand and persuading somebody to understand the options that are in their best interest and helping them pick the best option or one of the better options of things that are in their best interest. And when it comes to law enforcement, I don't know if you know this, but not everybody wants to go to jail. So when you tell somebody that they're under arrest, there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of sales opposition. There's a lot of objections that come up. And a lot of times it results in a physical struggle. But there were times where I was able to persuade people and say, look, you're going to go to jail one way or another. We're either going to fight and you're going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt. Your kids are going to, your kids are going to witness this. Things in your house are going to get broken, whatever. Or because it's inevitable, you can go peacefully. You can make this easy on yourself. You can make it easy on me. You can make it easy on your kids. And you help somebody understand that going peacefully is in their best interest, even though they don't necessarily want to do that. But that's sales. Talking about disagreements with your spouse. A lot of times that comes down to sales. Discussing different options and picking the one that's best for everybody. Same thing with kids. So when you look at these conversations and living life with people around us, living life with a servant's heart means you're serving other people and you're helping everybody else get the things that are in their best interest, because their best interest is aligned with your best interest. So if you help enough other people get what they want, you can have anything you want, as Jim Rohn says. And like Jesus said, if you want to be great, you've got to become last. Whoever's going to be the greatest among you has to be a servant of others. And there's really no other better examples other than looking at public servants like law enforcement, first responders, military, and the basic idea of what the legislature is, the president of the United States, the governor, the state legislators. These are all public servant roles that were intended to serve the many to help everybody get what's in their best interest. Unfortunately, maybe over time, arguments can be made that it's been corrupted, but that's a different argument. But the idea that public servant, being a servant of others, is the key to unlocking success. Now, as a small business owner, somebody who just started their own business, this is a key for me. Being able to help people understand what their needs are and understand how I can help them accomplish their needs with the products and services that I offer, it's a win-win situation, right? They get to advance their brand identity. They get to get branded products. They get to, whatever it is, apparel items, t-shirts, whatever. And they get to pay me for providing that service. But it's not me going into some random business and just shoving it down somebody's throat. Helping coach other people around me isn't me saying, look, you're messing up and sure, there's a time and a place for that tough love. But for the most part, coaching is helping people understand what's in their best interest and identifying the problems in somebody's life and the options that somebody has to overcome those problems in order to change. That's sales. You're selling them a better version of themselves so that they can have a better life. So that's what I want to impart with you today. Live that servant's heart lifestyle. Whatever you do, whether you're doing it for your own business, whether you're doing it, whether you're doing it in your own business, whether you're doing it in your marriage or boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, whether you're doing it, in your parenting relationships with your kids or significant others or friends or whoever. Whatever it is that you are doing, do it for other people, not to other people. And when you have that servant's heart mentality and you help enough other people get what they want, they will in turn help you get whatever you want. And life's going to reward you for it. So be a servant of others and trust me. Trust me when I say this. You will be rewarded for your servant's heart mentality. So until next time, I'm Matt. This is Iron Sharpens Iron. Thanks for watching.